live scope, active target, whatever your favorite brand of electronics calls it. Live forward-facing sonar is what we're going to be talking about today. Quick side note, this is not the first time we've had live sonar on the market. What's up, everybody? If you're anything like me, and you spend a lot of time online looking up fishing videos, you've no doubtably seen a whole lot of videos lately, an increasing number of videos lately, on live scope. You've also no doubtably noticed that a lot of these videos portrayed as cheating and unfair and ruining fishing and making it boring to watch. A whole genre of things. Some people say it's unfair, and they've even coined the phrase, if you ain't scoping, you're hoping. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about my feelings on the situation and whether I think it should be banned or not. But first, we got to go back. We got to go way back to when disco was popping, collars were big, and shorts were disturbingly short. In the mid-70s, a little military technology known as sonar started to hit the civilian market in the form of a flasher, the Humminbird Super 60. These flashers were extremely difficult to understand. You pretty much had to have a Yale degree to figure them out. However, anglers were starting to learn them, starting to put in the work and time and effort to learn these things. And they learned that they could get off of the bank and find drop-offs and brush piles and fish out offshore that have not been messed with. Now, I'm sure that during this time, when these funny little boxes started popping up on people's boats, there was some people who were saying, this is not fair. They shouldn't have these things. Flashers were so effective that they're still used to this day, mainly by ice fishermen, for one main reason. They are an instant representation of what's below the transducer. They are live sonar. We've had live sonar since the 70s. They even offer flashers on the newer depth finders, my HDSs. You can go to a flasher page and it'll show a flasher in color. You can also do an amplitude scope on your 2D sonar, which is a vertical bar. It's a live instant sonar. It's a flasher in a vertical form. Now, the next big breakthrough in marine electronics was the introduction of paper graphs and LCD screens. Now, paper graphs is exactly what it sounds like. It was a roll of paper in there. This little pen drew out what the bottom looked like as the scroll of paper went by. It looked just like an LCD screen, except it was on paper. You can understand the downside of that one, constantly having to change the paper rolls. LCD screens were way better because you didn't have to change paper. However, both of these were not met with open arms when they first came out, mainly because of the delay. There was a 2 to 3 second delay from the time that the sonar signal was received from the transducer to the time it was portrayed on the screen. Well, then that means the brush pile you see was 3 seconds ago. So when you're trying to throw a marker on top of a brush pile, you're off by a lot. This is why a lot of anglers still held on to the flashers. Well, in the 80s, another military technology came out onto the civilian market, and it utilized those LCD screens, a little thing called GPS. Well, now anglers can look on their screens and see a map of the lake or whatever, see the lines where they've been, and see waypoints that they've marked. Well, here we go again. People yelling, now not only can they find structure offshore, now they can mark it and go back to it again and again. This ain't fair. The sonar market stayed quiet for a little while. Some minor advancements, getting color screens, changing resolution, stuff like that. And then we got side scan, down scan, Humminbird 360, all three of those very good fish catching technologies. And also charts started to get way better. Your GPS charts, you could buy charts now for a lake and see all of the bottom contours, which used to take people days to figure out, graphing and driving around, staring at their screens. Now you can just go buy a card and get it. You see what I'm getting at, folks, right? There's always going to be a group of people who don't like certain advancements, who think they're unfair or whatever. All live scope is another advancement in marine technology that some people have embraced and some people don't like it. At first, I thought it was more of the senior anglers kind of thing. You know how old folks are with technology. But that's not the case. I know quite a few older gentlemen who have been using it to catch sac-a-lait. Heck, I don't know why the speckled trout world hasn't picked up on this. It'd be awesome to go down to trestles with this. You'd find all kinds of trout. Now let's circle back to something I started talking about at the very beginning of this video. How some people were saying that live sonar is making fishing boring to watch. Watching people stare at a depth finder screen is boring to watch. Well, to that I say, watching live fishing to me personally is boring. I don't care if they're in 30 feet of water throwing a drop shot in Lake St. Clair, or they're humming a frog in a lily pad field somewhere. To me, it's boring. I would rather just wait for the highlights to come out on TV. And as far as the being boring watching someone stare at a screen, at a depth finder screen, to me, all right, this is my point of view here, because I've done this before. I have caught fish on a depth finder screen. I've sat there and watched a red and yellow line come up on the screen to the other red and yellow line, which was my lure, and it came up and hit it. To me, that's exciting. I've done it quite a few times. It's very fun and exciting to do that. So watching someone do that, it's exciting also. And to add something else to that point, this isn't the first time people have stared at depth finder screens. People have been doing this for a long time with regular 2D sonar, with their chart, with Humminbird 360. It's been going on for a long time now. Live scope is not the first time people have stared at a depth finder screen. Now let's get back to the question at hand. The question in most videos. Should it be banned? Is it unfair? Is it cheating? Well, to all of those, in my opinion, no. I don't think it should be banned, and I don't believe that in any way is it cheating or unfair. This is a form of technology that is available to everybody. It's not like it's only 3 people have it and they're not letting anybody else have it. That would be unfair. This is available to everybody. Heck, all 3 major sonar manufacturers have their versions. I mean, heck, 360 is only one brand has it. Humminbird only has it. No one else has it. But Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin have live scope, or their versions of it. It's available to everybody. So I don't see where it's unfair. Is it expensive? Yes. This is the reason I don't have it yet. But so is every other advancement in marine electronics. So is sonar. So is good GPS charts. So is good side scan and down scan. That's all expensive. Is it hard to learn? Yes, it is. But so is regular sonar. You know, I see people all the time who put a depth finder on their boat, turn it on every now and then, and just look at the depth every now and then. They never put forth the time and effort to learn it, to actually figure out what they're looking at and how to use it to their advantage. Just because someone puts live scope on a boat doesn't mean they're going to load the boat down. With any advancement or anything new you have, it takes time and dedication to learn it. And a lot of these people, a lot of these anglers have put in a lot of time figuring out all their electronics and how to use them to their best of their advantage. And now some people are saying we just need to ban it because it's too effective or whatever. Well, that's unfair to the people who have put the work in. And even after all of that, even after learning all that you can do about this electronics, because you're staring at a fish doesn't mean they're going to bite. Now, a lot of times they won't. It'll make you want to kick the darn depth finder into the water. You'll be screaming at them, "Why don't you bite? I can see you." It'll piss you off sometimes. Should the number of electronics on a boat be limited? Should maybe just one depth finder up front, one at the console? Well, maybe. You know, maybe they can find a happy medium there. But then you're going to have to put on size restrictions too, because we already have 16-inch screens. If you put it to where they can only have one in front, one in the back, they're going to have 40-inch big screens on the darn boat. And also, if someone wants to work a lot of overtime, make sacrifices and save up money and spend $20,000 on depth finders, so be it. That's what he wants to do. It's just the same as Keith Boucher wanting to use a little flatboat in minimum electronics. That's what he wants to do. 6 one way, have a dozen the other. I don't think there's a happy medium to be reached with any of this. I think this is going to go on for a little while, and it's just going to blow over. You're never, ever, ever going to reach 100% happy factor among all your competitors in any sport out there. Someone is always going to feel like they're being beaten by someone with an unfair advantage or doing something unfairly. It's just how it is. You're never going to please everybody. However, like I said, I don't believe live scope should be banned. But I think that if a tournament organization does ban it, they should ban all of electronics, period, across the board. Then you're going to see all the people who are like, oh, whoa, we don't like live scope, but we want our sonar, we want our charts. We don't want to ban all that, just the live scope, because we don't understand it. Well, what about the people who don't understand or like sonar and charts? What about them? See what I'm saying? If you ban live scope, I think it all should be banned, period. All the way across the board. If they don't want that, if they still want to keep their sonar and charts, or the people who are complaining about it still want to keep their sonar and charts, then the other folks get to keep their live scope. To me, that's, in my humble opinion, that's the only fair way to go about it. Or to maybe minimize the electronics on boats. 2 12-inch graphs or something like that, maybe. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I may have lost a few on this one. I'd be very interested to hear you guys' opinions on this in the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think live scope is fair or not? Should it be banned? Do you think it's cheating? Do you think my assessment of the situation is fair or not? I know my thoughts don't align with everybody's. This is just real talk, and I just wanted to get my opinions out there and get my feelings on the situation out there. Would love to hear what you guys think. Please hit that thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. And until next time, y'all stay safe out there.